Man, your show's gonna be awesome, bro. Show's gonna be awesome.
Okay, Tanatapi, Natanako Materikawan. How's it going, everyone? Let me just do some last minute adjustments. There we go. So, you are watching today's Entertainers with Little Dog, and today we have a special guest whose name is Raquel Zamora. She is an actress. Honestly, I think she could be a model as well. I believe she is. I've seen her do photography as well as she's a very talented stunt woman and martial artist. So, you know, she's running on Indian time. We all do that every once in a while, and most times, we tend to do it quite often. Anyways, back to this. I'm hoping that everything sounds great. So, anyways, we are going to have a wonderful show. It's going to be great. There's a lot of things going on in today's news. Um, One of the things is I'm hoping that YouTube's working out quite well because I got a notification saying that it wasn't. If you haven't noticed, there's a brand new intro video. Very excited that I was finally able to actually get that done. I'm trying to upload my outro video. However, for some weird reason, StreamYard's having a little issues trying to process and upload it to the system. So hopefully I can get that uploaded before by the time the end of this episode. And then, Raquel's going to be here soon, so that's going to be excellent. Now, I do appreciate everybody jumping on. We have a couple of announcements coming up, a couple of, thank the sponsors. So, she has a little bit of time to get here before we get going. So, hey there, Scott. Appreciate you tuning in, brother. Appreciate it, and I appreciate the comment as well. You guys are awesome. You guys are what helps make the show keep continuing on. It is a lot of work to do the show, and I'm really appreciative of everybody who tunes in. So, thank you guys very much for being here. Uh, you know, Sometimes life gets a little busy. Sometimes things get away from us. And even today, I got here a little bit early, but there was so much work that I was like, hey, you know what? I have time to do the intro and the outro video. So I did do that. However, I didn't download one of her videos to show on there, but we are looking for more sponsors. If anybody else is that out there that's interested, people who are interested in donating, I do have Cash App that goes to expanding it and keeping the show going. I do have a couple of meetings that I've set up with a couple of different companies that are local to the DFW area to look for sponsorship. Currently we are self-sponsored by Alpine Roofing and Solar. This is my card specifically. I've been in the industry for over 18 years. That is my cell phone number, 817-673-2247. If you guys need a second opinion, somebody to come through and take a look at your roof, just give me a call. I'm more than happy to come out and take a look. I also do photos and I show those photos to you. Now, I do full service to where I meet with the insurance company as well as, the adjuster whenever they come out. And a lot of times there's ways that I look at a roof. I either look at it as, hey, it's worth fighting for, so let's go ahead and push it. And if it is, then cool. I know that it's something I can win, even if it's, post denial, because actually, mostly that is when I win most of mine is actually post denial. We have a win rate that's after that, or even partial. That's a dirty trick that the insurance company makes. The ways that they were able to afford those Super Bowl ads, which are millions of dollars, is because they don't pay anything. So give me a call. I can help get you a fair amount. Okay. Now, the other sponsor that we have is Isaiah's Renovations. Thank you very much for sponsoring this month. You can get some free estimates if you need any kind of renovation work as far as interior remodeling, exterior painting, interior painting, kitchen renovations, whole home renovations, and some of the specialties that are actually bathrooms. I've seen some of the work that's been done into the bathroom areas, and man, I mean, that's some talent. You're gonna have to request a quote as well as for a demonstration for him to come by, show you some of the photos that he's done. I've seen some of his work. That is amazing work, and I've actually seen some of it firsthand. The way that you contact is 817-724-2756. 2082 and Murillo Isaiah at yahoo.com. Thank you for sponsoring this episode. Now, I'm involved in a whole bunch of different things that are going on around here. Sometimes I over involve myself, so I don't mean to, not do some of the things. However, one of the things that I've been involved in for a while now, and I love doing this, is Choctaw Stickball, or Kabucha Tole, which is part of the team. So every once in a while, now not this weekend because there's going to be a powwow going on. However, on most weekends, uh, there's a Dallas practice, which is 3 to 5, held at, well, you're gonna have to contact Coach Eli Hickman, who is on Facebook, for the times and the location. The Fort Worth practice is actually head up by yours truly, and I try to do them every Saturday. However, sometimes it does get away from me as I do work Saturdays. So contact us for all that. Now, another thing that we have going on, is the Texas School Board of Education, which is to renew the American Indian Studies. Now, they did vote and they did renew it, which is awesome. However, it is renewed as an elective, meaning they do not get credit for it. So now the fight continues to turn that from an elective into an actual credited class. So one step closer, still moving ahead. So thanks for everybody who's support. If you want to help and support them, go ahead and comment in the comments and comment in the comments. And I will make sure and get that to you guys. All right. I appreciate you guys. They appreciate you guys. And you guys have a great day with that. Okay. Coming up this weekend is the powwow. So there is an IIAC powwow, and this is a 3-day powwow. So Saturday, Sunday. Oh, wait, usually I thought that was a Friday as well. Oh, that may be just for us for setting up. Anyways, I am part of the Choctaw Stickball team, which is down there underneath the gourd dance. We will have an area that we always have to. Now, admission is free, and so is parking. So it is going to be held at the Chisholm Trail Outdoor Museum at 101 Chisholm Trail, Cleburne, Texas. This is, oh yeah, see, Friday, there it is. Friday, April 10th, 4 to 8 p.m. Saturday, April 11th, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, the 12th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Now, come on out. I do intend on camping, and this is going to be awesome because here's the thing is I actually got to meet my daughter. She's my oldest daughter. Her name is Roxy Jane, and I am extremely proud of this young woman. It is unfortunate that I never did get to meet her before or see her grow. It actually kind of sucks a little bit. However, she has done very well despite a lot of the turmoil that she has come through. Uh, she has she's working on her bachelor's degree. She's 18, by the way, and she's working on her bachelor's degree in geoscience. Just amazing. Sometimes whenever you look, you can tell that you'd be like, hey, that's your kid or not. No, she's 100% mine. You can just tell just by looking at her. She looks just like me, and she is so smart. Shout out to her mom, Tammy, for telling her to reach out to me. Tammy or TJ Farr for all those who don't know. But anyways, I really appreciate you having her reach out to me. I enjoy talking to her. She gets along with her younger siblings, Jasmine and Jesse, and I'm super stoked to have her here, going to be part of my family, as well as she plans on moving in at the end of semester. As you can tell, I'm just so proud of this young woman. She's an amazing young woman. She does. I mean, I may have to just have her on the show one time, just so that way you guys can meet her. Anyways, Roxy Jane, shout out to you. I'm very proud of you, young lady. Now, for those of you who have seen now, I do have a new intro video, which is great. It does show that the new times, which currently is 8 p.m. now. So I noticed that there was a lot more engagement later on in the day than there was earlier. So that's why I went ahead and switched it now. I am trying to upload my in credit now. Doesn't seem to be working. However, just so you guys know, this is produced by today's entertainers with Little Dog, our TEWLD Productions, which is open. I do have a little bit of a studio set up currently, as you guys have seen from more of the recent episodes. I do also have, what you guys don't see is I have another area right over this way where there is actually a green screen set up, and I do have cameras and I have editing software. So if you guys need help with self auditions, that is definitely something that I can help you guys out with. Okay. Like I said, our guest is running a little late and should be actually here right around now. So once she comes in and gets reset, I'll be go ahead and switching it over. Let me go ahead and talk a little bit about what I've been up to. I know that's something that a lot of people have been asking me, you know. I have been doing a lot more of the roofing stuff. You know, I've been focusing on that part of my career. A lot of agents, they want, you know, acting classes. And so for me to do that, I do the roofing. So I do intend on, you know, advancing my career. I have been working on my demo reel, which for those of you who don't know or maybe new to acting, demo reel is necessary for you to move forward in the industry as well as be able to gain an agent. So I have been invited by a couple of different agencies, which I intend on finishing my application for this week, or my submission for this week, which is, you know, demo reel, my headshots, as well as my sorry, I heard the door open, as well as my resume, which I've already put my resume together, have my headshots, just working on the demo reel. And thanks to, you know, everything that's been going on right now, there is the American Coyote, which is out now in theaters and different select theaters. Okay. Last I saw, it was in San Antonio. It was also going to be heading over to, sorry, El Paso, and then it's going to make its way to here in the DFW. Whenever that happens, I will be going in and announcing it. Now, there is the Dallas Independent Film Festival, which is coming up soon, and it's going to be in April. Now, whenever that does open up, what's going to happen is, you know, I'm currently working with Diff to be get a media pass, so I may actually be live doing a red carpet event for that. So be looking out for that. And I'm really excited. Things are moving forward. I've been trying to get into a lot of this a little bit more often, marketing myself, which is something that actors should be doing. If you don't market yourself, you're not doing yourself any favors. So market yourself, put yourself out there, get your information out, you know, make networking ties. All right. Uh, oh, we had another comment from Robert. Hey, appreciate you tuning in, Robert Rios. It's my brother down here from San Antonio. And I look very forward to seeing you and hoping that, and whenever you come up for your interview, we're gonna have to get you in here. You know, we're gonna have to hang out. Also, whenever we come down for, oh yeah, it's also going to Austin. The American Coyote is going to Austin, Texas. And whenever that happens, you know, I'll probably be at that one as well as possibly the Dallas one. So I'm super excited, you guys. A lot of this stuff is moving. You know, I have been, oh, I should put this back in there. It's probably picking up both my voice on both of these. I have been moving around, making things happen. I haven't really been accepting, you know, or applying for too many background roles. I still do apply. However, since I'm trying to move into a different section of my career, I am trying to focus on my acting skills as far as being on screen. So appreciate you, brother. You know, like I said, you guys are the ones that help make this show possible as well as help it continue. If It's a lot harder to do with nobody watching, which I have done several times. However, I know that the reels at the end are well worth it, and it's something that I feel very passionate for, and I'm very excited to do. And so, well, go ahead and get set real quick, okay? And then right over here in this corner, okay? So, Get you mic'd up real quick. I'm very excited to have my guest here. Here you go.
Let's see.
And now, usually I like to do an intro video. However, I forgot to download that one because I was working on the intro and outro video, the outro video that won't upload. However, without further ado, I am very happy to welcome Raquel here.
What's up?
And I'm going to actually, oops, that's the wrong one. I'm going to actually kind of put a banner up real quick for a second while I reset the camera, all right?
Perfect.
So give me 1 minute to go, or 1 second to do that. So 1 minute, that's gonna take forever. All right, I know it's a little bit different from what you guys are used to. As far as the format of this show.
Yeah.
Now, this is Raquel. How you doing, Raquel?
What's up? How are you doing?
Doing good. Glad to have you here.
Yeah, I'm like, do we do a handshake? What do we do?
Yeah, we can do a handshake. Anyways, I know that the drive here was pretty crazy. It was a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
A lot of things changing here, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And especially there's a lot of cop activity, obviously. Yeah.
That's true. I speed a lot too, so.
Yeah. I got pulled over today again, and I'm like, what's going on here?
Oh man, it's like they're just targeting you or
Yeah.
something. Anyways, if you don't mind, go ahead and introduce yourself to our crowd today.
Okay. And I'm Natabote. Greetings, everybody. I'm Raquel Zamora. I'm also known as Coyote Rock. I am a hat of several things. I just like to call myself a multidisciplinary artist since I do quite a few things.
Awesome. Now, you're an actress, correct?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you been in acting?
Ah, man. So that journey, I started that in like 2009.
Oh,
And
nice.
then, yeah, it's been a while. It started off like just as something I wanted to try out because I wanted to do that when I was a kid. And so I started with like doing background. Um, and then I was getting more stuff, but that didn't start until like later.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff did you do work background in?
So I did body work, body double for this one show that was called Chase. They only did one season on
Mhm.
CBS. And man, what's this other show? I'm trying to remember the name of this one show because it was a pilot. It was for ABC and it was based off of like these Christians. And I think it was called like Good Christian Bees. I don't know if I can curse here. Like I'm not kidding. Like it was something like that. It was based off a novel and they wanted to create this series out of it. So it was a pilot that they shot here and we were like, "What in the heck is this?" And it was just a show about Christians just being nosy and snotty and things like that. So I
Oh,
was
wow.
like, "This is very out there." Like,
Yeah, that sounds very out there. A lot of times I know like a lot of Christian stuff comes off like really super religious, so.
yeah, no, this one was completely.
And then so after that you kind of moved in. Yeah, I've noticed that you did stunts as well.
I started to do that. Yeah,
Okay.
kind of fell into that. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Is that what you're gonna ask me? Like, how did I get into
Yeah,
it?
how did you get into
Yeah, I
that?
fell into it. So it ties into with my acting. So with the acting, I started off with the background, and I at that time I was a student at AI at the Art Institute of Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I was doing that, and once I graduated, I got a job, two jobs, one at a web design place. So I was building like web designs.
Hmm.
While I was doing the designs, I wasn't actually like doing the coding. And then on the weekends, I was working at Univision as a graphic designer, graphic operator. And that eventually became my full time. But when I was doing that full time, that's when I started getting more gigs. As I mentioned, it took a little time, but
Mhm.
and my kids at the time were doing stuff too. So there was two commercials that we got booked for, all three of us. And one was for like a national bank, and it was Bank of America, and then another one was for a Chili's commercial. But I had to say no to both, and they were like literally like main role like talent.
Yeah.
So, and that just got me thinking. I was like, dang, what the heck? And it just so that urge to follow that passion, that's where I fell into the martial arts because I started doing that in 2015. And when I quit my job to just fully pursue like an artist career in 2019, that's the same year that I met my other friend and he became my teacher. And he does theater because that's where I met him, at a theater place. So
Nice.
and that, yeah. So it's just something I fell into thanks to acting.
That's pretty cool. A lot of times, I've noticed that it seems to be kind of reoccurring, especially on the show,
Mm.
where everybody's like, "Well, I fell into it,"
Yeah,
and it seems to
yeah.
be the most fun that they've had, or what they enjoy the
Yeah.
most is
Yeah.
because they actually just fell into it. Even
Yeah.
myself,
Yeah.
I fell into acting. I fell into the podcast. It
Yeah.
just kind of happened, and it was sprung up, and it just seems to be that. For me, it felt like a calling.
Yeah, and it's
But
something that you're doing
yeah,
too.
exactly.
Yeah.
Now, how long? What style of martial arts do you practice?
Kung Fu.
Kung Fu.
So I started off with basically basic boxing, kickboxing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because I started working at a gym and I found out about that like little secret. So just letting y'all know if you want to learn something, workout membership stuff, work at a gym, you'll get free access. And
Nice.
so at the time there was a lot of UFC gyms during that time. So
Mhm.
one was literally down the street and I could walk to work. So I started working at that gym. That was what I started out with, and that's where I made another friend and he started teaching me Taekwondo outside of the gym.
Nice.
And then from there in 2019, that's when I met my other friend. He said, again, because I was already doing the martial arts and, start work was something I thought about, but it just wasn't something where I was like, I'm gonna pursue it in a
Yeah.
sense. But I did think about it and I was like, this is really cool. I do want to do this.
Nice.
Um, and so he started me off with karate and it's okay. It's not really for me, but I did like it. It
Mhm.
was when he introduced me to kung fu. That's when I was like, oh dang, this is tight. Nah, this is it.
How did you like Brazilian Jiu Jitsu?
I like it because it honestly it saved my life. I think it's good to learn that because it teaches you that close combat and how to kind of get out of those little situations, especially if you're like somebody small like me.
Nice. I only asked because that's one of the ones that I practice as
Oh,
well.
okay,
I
nice.
enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the only reason. I've never tried Kung Fu. I've always kind of wanted to, but
Hmm.
I've never actually tried it. I did Shiti Ryu in
Mm,
the past, and I did enjoy that.
okay.
Uh, but I've always kind of wanted to get into a little bit more as well. Now, is there like a gym around here that you go to, or do you?
No, not anymore. The gym that we had closed. Yeah,
Okay.
shut down. And so, yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, unfortunately. So we just practice. I mean, those are my friends. So like we still practice.
Okay.
We're actually gonna start getting together because somebody was mentioning like we need to get back together and start practicing more again.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Now, I do want to get into a little bit about your culture history as well, because you have
Mhm.
a pretty interesting background as far as that goes, right? You mind
Yeah.
telling us a little bit about it?
Yeah. So it's on my mother's side, she's what they call castizo, but of course, that's like a colonial title. But like she's German, Spanish, and Native. And then from my father's side, I know for sure Yaqui and then Spanish.
Nice. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. I know that Yaki's not one that I hear most very common.
Mm.
Where were they located at?
In what they now call Sonora, the
Okay.
Sonora Desert. Yeah.
Nice. Are there quite a bit still there, or yeah?
Yeah. We used to have I can't remember the exact number, but I know it was over 70 villages pre-colonial times.
Nice.
But now we are down to 8 villages, and then of course we're one of the tribes that the border crossed. And we have 2 reservations in Arizona, and then there's the Texas band here.
Oh wow! Now you're from the Texas band, is that correct?
Mhm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've always kind of heard a little bit about, but I've never really kind of looked into the Yaqui, you know. I always thought that was actually a pretty cool name. What does it mean in, I guess, in English? What does it translate to?
So it's an interesting story. Yaqui is actually the name that the Spanish gave us.
Mhm.
And they it's because they thought we were saying that that was our name whenever which is kind of like a common story I've been hearing from like other folks. And so what the leaders said whenever they encountered them was Yaqui, which just means like, do you speak? And I've also heard it actually translates also to they're speaking to the authorities. But it basically is like you're speaking to the authorities. And so, yeah, the Spanish thought that they were saying that their names were Yaquis and just started calling them that since then. And it also started translating to like mean and stubborn people. So I mean, for me, it's like growing up, I have been called cabezona. For those of you who don't know that, that means stubborn. So,
So it's in a whole different way of seeing it, right?
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You did send me a couple of photos, which was put into the ad,
Mm.
and so it was a performance that you did.
Yes, recently.
Okay, and that was the one in front of the screen, where you were doing I did see it uh on your TikTok actually.
Oh, nice.
And so, what was that one for, if you don't mind me
That
asking?
was for the Dallas Arts press conference. It
Okay.
was like for their kickoff press conference. Dallas Arts kickoff conference. That was the name of the event. I'm like trying to remember it, but and it was actually last minute in a sense where whenever they requested me, it was like a week before that. And I immediately knew I was like, oh gosh, this is going to be a short performance. When I started out, I actually started out doing a 6 minute. And I remember thinking, I can never fill in an hour. Now I do. I figured out how to do that. And so it was when they were like saying, I got that request, I was like, dang, I don't have a short piece. So I'm going to have to work on something. And so that piece that I did, it was very honestly just a last minute kind of thing that I put together. And I'm still proud and happy about how it came together.
Mhm.
And I am going to be performing it this weekend at Cleburne. So,
Nice.
and so I am like touching it up since there's a little time now to between now and then. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, whenever you do it this weekend, is it gonna be like on a Friday, Saturday, or are you doing it all 3 days?
Uh, from what I was told, Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Okay, have to check that out between practices.
Yeah.
I actually kind of excited about that this weekend coming up. So it's it's one of my favorite powwows to go to just
Mm.
because it's camping and all that. And so
Yeah.
my kids love to camp,
Oh, yeah.
and it's very good to have it in a controlled area.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Agreed.
for sure. Now, you said that you were working at Univision before you got into acting. Is that
Mhm.
correct? Is that your background is
Broadcast?
broadcast?
Somewhat, yeah, pretty much. You caught that, eh? So yeah, it's because I say that because not a lot of people really catch that, but
Mhm.
you caught that. So yeah, and it's interesting. I didn't think I was going to start off with broadcasting when I graduated as a graphic designer,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, whoa, they need graphic designers. So at AI, we have, or not we, but they have graduation portfolio showcases. So
Mhm.
right, whenever any student who graduates with whatever their degree is, there's a showcase. So there's like other employers that come out, check us out. And that's when somebody from Univision had actually came out to look for another employer because he was literally it was just him really
Mhm.
and one other person. He was like, we need to hire somebody else. So he was literally pleading with his supervisor, we need to hire somebody else. And so And that's actually where he graduated from.
Oh wow.
So he knew about the showcase and he was like, let me check it out. He took my stuff and that's how I got into that. She liked my, she interviewed, I want to say 6, 8 other folks. And out of all of them, she really liked my portfolio.
Nice. Congratulations
Yeah,
on that.
thank
That's pretty
you.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's like you went out of graphic designing and jumped into broadcasts and then into
Yeah.
acting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, did you find it a little intimidating your first acting job?
Yes.
How,
Yeah. Yeah.
how did you feel on set? I know that I was nervous, excited, and so.
Right? Yeah. I was nervous. I was excited. I was very observant too because I just was like, I really love this. I want to get more into this. So I
Mhm.
was like, I was staring really. And when we weren't, rolling, I was just staring at everybody, what the grit, what the lighters were doing and this and that. And I started becoming friends with people on set and they started teaching me about stuff. So that's how I kind of started learning about that stuff too. It started being their friends. I need to take water too. Jeez.
Oh, you're good. I have another water here for you,
Oh,
by the way.
perfect. Yay.
Uh, I know that can be that it's actually a pretty cool way to start off right there.
Yeah.
Because one thing that I tell everybody is that if you get into acting, networking is very important,
Yes.
which is something that you did right there.
Yeah.
And so, which led into different roles probably as well, just because not everybody on set is where they want to be. A
Hmm.
lot of them are where they want to start off at.
Yeah.
So I've noticed that, from other guests and myself as well included, that networking has led it to other acting jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, same with you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh, how many times on set have you met somebody who's a writer or director that wants to do their own projects as well?
I can't even.
It's too many,
Yeah,
right?
I'm like, there's a good amount. I feel like it seems like almost every time, like if I work with something, not every time, I shouldn't say every time, but like it's happened quite a few times. Yeah. Not,
So,
yeah.
so it's pretty important.
Yeah.
Uh, the other thing I wanted to ask was, have you ever thought about if you could do anything other than acting on set, what would you like to do?
That's, man. Mm,
I know it's a hard question. I apologize for that. Kind of got
yeah.
that was kind of hard.
Set design.
Set design.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. I actually got a story about that because I love set design. That was something that I was like noticing that I noticed a lot, right? Like looking at everything and seeing how they created the scenes, and which I thought was just so cool.
Hmm.
And when I was working at Univision, they do competitions, like, because there's different departments,
Hmm.
and we were in the control room.
Okay.
And so there's like different departments, and there was this one year that there was this Halloween contest, and the prize was like $1,000 for the winners. And I was like, I mean, it was super last minute too, where I was like, "Hey, let's enter." They're like, "What?" I'm like, "I bet we can win. Let's do it!" Like, and the TD, the technical director who I was working with at that time, he was like, "All right." So we started. It started out actually with just me and him, and I stayed overnight, just like do work, decorating and stuff. And then the next day, I saw like the people who came in, they saw the decorations. It was like, I want in. So like everybody pitched in, like whoever
Hmm.
wanted in, they would pitch in an amount so that we can really like make this look dope. And yeah, we ended up winning. We tied, unfortunately, though, because since we work in the control room, which that means, the control. Well, for those who don't know
Hmm.
the control room, that's like where when it comes to the news, when you're watching the news channel or like a live game, like that's where we're running the cameras, we're running the CGs, the producers in the back, they're calling the shots, and that's where everything's happening, where you see on screen.
That's where the magic happens.
Yes. And so it's very chaotic.
Hmm.
And so that's why they gave us a tie, because whenever they walked in, I was on a table putting something up and I was in costume. So I was like, let me go put my mask on and then be the ghost.
Nice.
So,
That's actually pretty cool.
yeah. So it was pretty cool, yeah.
Now, I've seen you go around and you do photography as well too, correct? Do you do that like do you do it on set as well, or do you do it just at events, or tell us a little bit about that?
So it started off with like as a hobby, and um, it's more like a hobby thing.
Hmm.
And only one time I've actually done it for a set for a Chevrolet commercial.
Cool.
Yeah, it was through networking through a connect, a good friend
Mhm.
of mine. Thank you. And because that was really cool. I was like, oh, this is really cool. I'm a photographer on set. And I thought their job, I was almost going to say photographer on set. But yeah,
That-
but
yeah.
and so it's more of a personal thing, and I film a lot whenever I'm at events too, because whenever it that ties into the storytelling stuff that I do, because I like having images behind me so that
Mhm.
people can see, and that just goes into like the set design per se.
Yeah.
As you know, in theater, there's the set design. That's what helps bring. I mean, it just helps bring the story to life.
Mhm.
So for me as a performer and as an actress, like weaving these two together, that's where I film. And the reason why is because I love putting the community out there. And I love when I see the audience and they see y'all and they're like, oh, wow, that's cool. So I love putting y'all out there.
That's pretty awesome. Now, do you do like where can people see some of your work of where you film?
Where I film.
Yeah, like
How
what you film.
else?
Tell us, yeah. No, I mean, where can they see it? Like TikTok, YouTube,
Oh,
Facebook.
that stuff I honestly don't really post
Hmm.
just because it's more for the performances.
Gotcha.
But the one performance that I recently did, it is on YouTube. It's unlisted right now, but it will be available soon so that people can get the idea and see. And there is another video out there, but that one's like pretty outdated. So this one will be like very,
Nice.
yeah, new.
Okay. Oh, where can they find you at? Because I know that people are, some of this was for trying to expand for people can look things up, look videos up. I know that you said it will be listed later on,
Mhm.
but kind of give them an idea where they can find it whenever you do list it.
Okay, so on YouTube, you can find me as rock_ill. That's my B-girl name, and then you can type in the username, like, under there, it's, like, another name, Coyote Rock.
Okay.
Excuse me, I'm like, I just burped, excuse
No,
me.
you're all good. It happens. There's sometimes where I'm just like burping on my own, or, or I'm trying to suppress something else going
Right,
on.
you're like, "Hold on."
And so that happens a little bit often. I think one time I kind of let out a slow burp, and I was like, I hope nobody heard that.
Right.
Now, one of the things that I do, I really enjoy, the media and acting and all that. I've started actually writing too.
Mm,
And I'm gathering all the indigenous actors together and a couple of allies as well too, but mostly it's
mhm,
going to be an indigenous comedy skit.
mm,
And so that's why I'm talking to a lot of indigenous as well, because I'm
nice.
leading up into it.
Mm.
Honestly, I didn't realize how many skits it takes to make an episode. It is a lot. And
Man.
so, one of the things that I've been trying to do is find more writers who are also
Mm,
indigenous, because I don't want it to only be one-sided, and kind of seem like it's the same thing over and over again. You
mhm,
know, I try to create a network of people as well too. But that's something that I talk a little bit more about later on. Uh,
mm.
but I'd like for you to be a part of, that
Mm.
whenever it starts coming forth too.
Yeah, I would love to.
Because we're kind of a community here in the area, and
Yeah.
especially DFW.
Mhm.
We're trying to raise up the I want to say the level of acting in Texas,
Mm,
because there's a lot of people who want to see Texas actors become a lot of lead actors in major productions, such as like Taylor Sheridan
mm,
productions.
mhm.
And so, because right now they're flying a lot of them from out of state.
Oh, yeah.
And so, whenever they say, there's a lot of Texans involved in it because they have to have a certain amount in
Mhm.
order to get the tax breaks here, but they're all background.
Oh no.
And
Okay.
so, as far as training goes,
But it's not. I mean, it's a good thing too, though.
yeah, it is a good thing. As far as training goes, have you began training or when you found out that you wanted to do acting? Uh, when did you start training as far as like your acting side? Like, do you take any classes or anything?
I did, and I have. So I think that's definitely super important. Super important to practice, and obviously, like whenever you do it, like it helps you whenever you do things with your friends as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I did take workshops with Icon Studio Dallas,
Okay.
and they usually host workshops throughout the year.
Okay.
And I taken, let me see, man, I'm trying to think of the workshops. It was a commercial workshop, one was like a product workshop, and then just like a general acting workshop.
Okay.
And then there's the stunts. I really did take a workshop for that. That was in Austin. And thank you to my homie Bobby for taking me on that one. Cause yeah, he sponsored me for that. So like I'm really grateful.
Nice.
And yeah.
Now, would that be the Extreme Force stunts out there? I think that's.
I think was it that their name? I think. I don't remember. Sorry.
It's all right. I believe that's the one down there in Austin. They actually have some really cool classes that I want to check out.
Yeah.
And so, but I know that you got to kind of pay for your own place to stay and everything, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool. But anyways, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm talking weird today. I don't know why.
You're good.
But
Talk
anyways.
weird.
I don't know. For me, this day just kind of feels a lot different than most other days, and I haven't been able to put my finger on it.
Mm,
Maybe just because everything's going so well, I guess, from
right.
on my end. I've got. I don't know if you've seen my Facebook, but I got to finally meet my daughter, which is
I did,
yes,
yeah.
and I
Congratulations,
appreciate it.
seriously.
It's just been such a great week, and since then, so I've just kind of I've got like a lot of excitement built up, and I'm trying to contain it, and I feel like I'm over containing. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I'm like, don't contain that, let it out.
Well, I'm excited to spend this weekend with her as well too. So,
That's
like I
awesome.
said, it was the very first time meeting her, and I was super nervous. And because whenever I saw the photo of her, I only saw her profile photo because that's all she had up at the time. And I looked real close, and I'm like, she looks just like me.
Yeah, she looks very, I was gonna say, she looks so, I'm like, that's his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I apologize. I don't mean to sidetrack. It's
No,
just
no, you're
that's
completely
that's what
fine.
consumes most of my mind right
No,
now.
you're totally fine. That's pretty cool.
And so, but anyways, I want to get back to you. Now, you said that you also have kids that were enacting as well.
They were, yeah.
Okay, they don't do it anymore.
No. No, they're like, that's your thing. Like, that's fine if it's there. I mean,
Yeah. How has it been balancing being a mom and actress and working as
Mm.
well?
And that's a good question. Jeez. Because like for me, like with my upbringing, being single mom basically since my son was almost 2 years old, and he was 9 months or a year and 9 months.
Mhm.
My daughter was 3 months old whenever I got a divorce. And so I've been a single mom, and then I guess it's kind of personal question, but it's okay. I think we do need to talk about this because it is hard to kind of balance that kind of stuff, and then
Mhm.
it's important to have a support network,
Mhm.
and I think that's what has really really helped me, having like a really support a good network of support of good friends, and just people just cheering you on. Because, man, if you've seen the movie Moms, have you seen the movie Moms?
Yes.
Okay. If you remember where the girl where she, oh my gosh, Katie, not Katie, that's not her name. Jackie, what's her name? The actress's name, the main character of the movie with Moms.
That is a good question. I can actually look that up as
She
well.
was, she's married to freaking Ashton Kutcher. What's her name?
Oh, is that the is it Mila Kunis?
Yes, there we
Okay.
go. Like, God, look at me right now. I got her
Yeah,
character, Jack.
yeah, he's character, and then you said Ashton. I was like, oh, I know who that
Yeah. So if you remember that scene where she's on the couch just crying, yeah,
Mhm.
dude, like being a mom is just, and being a single mom is just like hard juggling some stuff, and then having a family where there's trauma and things like that, where you're like breaking from things. So there's just a
Mhm.
lot to juggle with that, and then there comes your friends, or like what, so like those are the people. And I really want to say that it's really the support that we have that helps us. Yeah.
It sure is. For me, I have my family here, my mom, dad, my sisters. My kids do support me,
Mm.
Uh, they also want to be actors and
Oh, okay,
actresses
that's
too, Jasmine
good.
and Jesse.
That's good.
And McCain's interested in it. I'm
Mhm.
not sure where he stands on it totally. I know he
Mm.
loves athletics right now. And so I'm very supportive of that. Uh,
Nice.
However, that is something that, it's a little bit closer on my end too. I'm trying to figure out because Jesse loves being homeschooled by me, and
Mm.
I love homeschooling him.
Yeah,
And we do that on
that's
a daily
cool.
basis. And I'm trying to figure out how am I going to balance this out on the days that I have a gig or
Mm.
if I have multiple days on set.
Mhm.
And thankfully, my mom has said that she'll help out because she knows my lesson plan that I've done with him.
Okay, that's good.
And the reason why his homeschooled is because he's kind of on the spectrum,
Mm.
and he ended up getting kicked out of a couple of schools.
I love homeschool. I'm like very pro homeschool.
Oh yeah, I took over his lesson plan this year in January,
Mhm.
and whenever he started, he could not read,
Mm.
and now he's on his ninth phonics book,
Oh, okay,
those little
nice.
tiny ones,
Mhm.
and which is pretty much on his grade level. And what I did was I just took his words right out of the book,
Mhm.
stuck them down, and those are his sight words.
Oh, nice.
So we did word recognition, to where sometimes I say the word and he's got to, number them and be like, this is the word that it is. And then other
Mm.
times he spells it out and then says it. And then whenever we read the book, he sees those words right inside the book.
Aw,
And so it's
nice.
been working really good with him.
That's good.
He's really good at math. Really good at math.
Oh,
It's hard to
nice.
teach him anything.
He's teaching you probably.
Yeah, he does things a lot different than I do. Sometimes he'll sit there and just put the answer, and I'm like, dude, that's correct.
Nice.
So I don't. I like for him to show his work,
Mhm.
but I don't force him to because I don't want to, stick him inside of a thing to where he's just kind of like, okay, this is just how it works in my head, you know.
Mm.
But I do the math with him, and so we've been doing long division, which is really cool. Sorry
Nice.
again, I just keep
He's
getting
good. You're fine.
distracted. I just, again, just kind of balancing being, here with my kids. And last night,
Mhm.
my daughter spent the night.
Mm.
And my oldest daughter, after the end of the semester, she's going to be moving in too.
Oh,
And
nice.
so it's going to be a bit of a help, but I want to help her a bit more than, have her helping me
Mm.
because I don't want her to feel like she moved in just to help me.
Oh.
And, so it's just something that I've also been juggling around with as well.
Mhm.
But
Nice.
that's the reason why I asked. I was like, how do you find balance in it?
Support. Yeah.
Hey, it's good to ask for somebody who's has experience. So
Yeah, support definitely
and
helps.
yeah, for sure. And so uh I'm grateful for my support system too.
Mm.
I've recently more or less got into the involved in the community.
Mm.
I think stickballs, I've been in that for about 3 years now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so it's still pretty recent to me. I've been here for a long time. I just didn't know anything was going on.
Oh, okay.
How long have you been involved in the community? Because I see you involved in just about everything.
Oh, I try to support as much as I can.
Mhm.
I've since 2020, I think,
Oh, wow.
or was it 2021? I think it was 2021. I think it was. I think it was 2021. Yeah. Yes. Now
Okay.
that I'm remembering, yeah, because that was the year when I met Evelio, the danza jefe, the danza that I'm in,
Okay.
and but I met him first, but then later, that's when I went to an Indigenous Peoples Day at the bridge,
Mhm.
and that's where I met everybody else, and I was like, "This is awesome. I want to be more involved."
Mhm. And that's where I'm trying to do too, is I'm trying to be more involved as well too. Because I started off in stickball, and I enjoyed it. I saw
Mm.
how bad out of shape I was.
It's a rough sport. Oh my gosh. Or
It,
game, I should say. Yeah.
yeah, it really is, but I was so bad shape that you could just push me over and I'd go rolling.
Oh.
I was very athletic younger, but then, as I got older, things kind of got repetitious and stress and all this other stuff. So I got really big.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm actually down 100 pounds from whenever I
Oh,
started. It it's one of the things that helped kickstart me taking care of myself
okay,
because
nice.
I didn't want to be pushed around anymore.
Hey, good job, Eli. Is
Right.
that Eli?
Yes, that's Eli. And so after that, I started getting a little bit more involved now. I did become part of ICCT,
Mm,
which is pretty cool, because I was looking for a different organization to be a part of.
okay,
I
right.
approached different ones, but some of them didn't want the type of exposure that came with the show, to where they're
Mm.
like, well, that would bring a whole lot of people that we don't want involved.
Oh,
And
okay.
so I was like, okay. So I kind of looked around a little bit, and that's whenever, this year Eli was like, yeah, go ahead. You can go ahead and advertise on your show, the stickball. And so
Okay,
he's like,
nice.
exposure is exposure. So I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because my reach isn't just here locally,
Hmm.
especially my reels. My reach tends to go a little bit global. Sometimes I'll before I switched my times, I was
Hmm.
actually getting viewers from Egypt and
Oh,
different parts of the
okay.
country.
Yeah.
I invite people to do remote interviews as well from different parts of the world, and
Nice.
so those viewers start following over here, and
Mm.
that's something that I want to do is I want to bring more indigenous presence, because a lot of
Hmm.
times they still think that we tend to be in teepees and stuff,
Yeah.
especially around the world.
Yeah.
And I want to bring more indigenous artists to light as well, and kind of highlight a lot of the local artists around here that are indigenous, such as yourself.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
so, season one, I had a couple other people. Like, I don't know, have you ever met Daniel Adam Warrior?
No, I don't think
No.
so.
Okay, he's also an indigenous actor. Has been on
Hmm.
several things. He was on season one. I've had a couple other ones like Chase Parker and
Mm.
all them come on as well. But I had a different producer back then. So now this is all
Oh.
on my channel. I plan
Oh.
on inviting him back. And actually, part of my intro song is Daniel Warrior saying, "This is gonna be awesome."
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
that's actually where I got that clip from.
Oh,
Was
word.
from
Nice.
his episode in the beginning. So now, whenever it comes to because you said that you've been acting since 2019, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any films out that we can see you in or anything?
Let's see. River of Blood. That one's on YouTube. I believe it's still available on YouTube. There's a couple of shorts that I've been in from the Chronicles. I want to say that's what they're called.
Vid Chronicles?
Yes, there you go, Vid Chronicles. And other stuff that I've been in, it's been just like some commercials, like one of the recent ones. It was a commercial for an attorney, and they said it aired during like the Super Bowl week. So I don't know if
Nice.
y'all have probably caught that because sometimes I'll get a message from somebody like, "Hey, I saw you," or whatever. And I'm like, "Oh, hey, cool." And yeah, because I don't really like put it out there. I honestly love when somebody like hits me up and is like, "Hey, are you in this?" I'm like, nice. That's cool. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I actually just recently, maybe like 2 months ago or so, another really, really good friend of mine. I mean, I've known this dude for, gosh, 20 years or so now. B-boy, whatever, all that. And he messaged me this photo. I can't say or nothing what it is, okay? Just because that's what I promised. But
Right. Oh, fine. I won't ask, you know.
yeah. But it was hilarious because he was like, is this you? And of course, like, again, I'm not saying it is me, and I'm not saying it's not me. It's not me.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to do an image search now. No.
Probably folks on there like, what is it? But that one was the first that somebody actually messaged me, and I was like, but I can't say if it is me because it's not.
Reminds me of I had another guest. His name's Calvin Weaver. He wrote a book about an assassin, and
Oh.
he goes into these memories of him once in a while, and he goes, "But it's all fiction."
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
So that's what that reminds me of. It's like, but it's not me. It was a great time, but that wasn't me.
Don't know what you saw. That was not me.
That's great. No. So it's kind of interesting too because I have people hit me up too
Mhm.
because it's become kind of a recurring thing on like on uh Taylor Sheridan shows where it's become where's Laffy or other
Okay.
people say where's Little Dog, almost like a where
Nice.
Waddle thing. Where's Waldo? Where's Waddle? Where's Waldo? But they put Little Dog because like I'll be popping up every once in a while and somebody send me a screenshot here and I'm like, oh yeah, that is me. They're like, have you seen this episode? No. It's just I don't know. Even the ones that I've acted in, I
Mhm.
find it a little. I want to support it a lot, but I feel like I act awkward.
Oh.
And so to me, it looks different. Other people are like, it looks great. I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah, but I feel awkward in it. I
Mm.
felt awkward filming it and I felt awkward watching it.
Mm.
And so, have you ever felt that way about acting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, like, I think because for me, I know there's times where I just felt like I was holding myself back and I couldn't
Mhm.
really like embrace that character. Um, and so there was that. Some characters I was able to just like I remember there's one for Vid Chronicles, the very first one that they hired me for was actually for a Native American character.
Mm.
And I get confronted by a Karen, and something about the mail. I think it's still out there, and she spits in my face. Of course, she doesn't really spit; like it's like a fake,
Yeah.
yeah. And with that one, I feel that I did really, really well, just because I was really into it. It was pretty passionate, right? Like it's something I'm very passionate about,
Hmm.
and it took me a while to kind of find that until recently. And so for me now, like I wanna see it now, like, even more, because 'cause I'm like, I don't feel like I'm holding myself back anymore. I just wanna embrace any role that not any role, but the ones that I accept, obviously,
Hmm.
right? And, like, I recently did a commercial for this one product. I don't think they're gonna release it until, like, a couple months or so, and they did show me some of the already what they did, and I was so happy with myself. I was like, "Yes, I didn't hold back." Was it awkward still to watch? Yes, but I was still pretty happy with I was like, "Yes, I didn't hold back. Good job."
Nice.
Yeah.
There, high five. There you go.
Yes.
No, I understand how that feels, because
Yeah.
I did a role recently for Anderson County. I got to go back and
Mm.
I believe I got to go back and film one more scene. But while I was filming it, things kind of changed up in the middle of it. I kind of showed up in character, found a little bit more about my character, about something else, and I'm like, oh, that has another depth. And it kind of, my heart started going, okay, how do I work that in? How do I work that in?
Yeah, yeah.
And so, but for me, I try to get into character like a day beforehand, especially if it's
Mhm.
like speaking roles and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And it just for me personally, it helps me out. I found out that it's a little bit more of a insecurity that
Mm.
I tend to have about it, mostly about my acting,
Mm.
because I did the American Coyote, and then not so long after that, I did a short film for the same production company that's on YouTube. It's called
Mm.
the led the Legend of the Donkey Lady by
Oh,
Marcus Davilla.
that sounds cool. I'm gonna have to watch that.
And I'm in the intro part,
Okay.
and I had this monologue, and the entire time that I'm doing it and basically telling the scary story, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm hitting the mic right now." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, the camera's rolling. I'm gonna mess up. I'm gonna mess up." And so whenever I watched it, though, I felt awkward watching it. However, it wasn't too bad.
Nice.
Because my character was supposed to be looking nervous, and I looked nervous.
And you're like already nervous. I'm gonna hold this in.
Exactly.
Nice.
And even have you ever done any like monologue competitions or anything?
No, I haven't
No?
actually.
Those are a little nerve-wracking.
I would imagine, yeah, yeah. I've done like I forgot to mention like in high school, I remember I took drama, and I remember sometimes that was my first time taking like classes for it,
Yeah.
and I wanted to continue, and I wish I did, but like what you're describing just reminded me of that too. Like, dang, I remember when I first started with the insecurity, and I
Mhm.
remember I auditioned for a play that they had, and I didn't get any part, not even background. So I was like, oh. And I didn't continue after that. So that's why later on I was like, I don't want to, I'm getting older because like during
Mhm.
that time when I started getting into background, I was like around 30, 31.
Okay.
And so I was like, I'm getting older. Like this is still behind my mind. Like I don't want to get older and be like, what if?
Mhm.
I want to be able to do like this, right? Where this will be available when I'm older and I'll look back and be like, hey, look, like there's this.
Right.
Like that's what's up. I want to be like, that's cool. I'm glad I went for it. So kudos, girl.
There you go. And
Yeah.
sometimes that's all you got to do is just get out there.
Yeah.
Whenever I was in high school, I actually tried for a play as well.
Mm.
I didn't get anything, but I ended up doing camera work.
Oh, nice.
And so I did the camera work for the play. I also did the camera work for like the basketball games and the football games. And
Okay.
so that's what I thought I wanted to do was the camera side.
Mm.
And a lot of my crowds heard this, but I don't think you really heard it. I kind of did the Goatman Prophecies.
Okay.
And so it was a high school project as part of the AB
Mm.
Tech Club.
Okay.
We had a lead actor, and he came in, but he got cold feet.
Oh.
He was like, well, I think he misunderstood. I don't really think he got cold feet. He may have, but he came in and he was like, okay, so which camera am I using? And I'm like, what do you mean using you're the actor. You're
Mm.
the lead actor. You're the one on camera. He goes, "Oh, I don't want to be on camera."
Oh, dang. Yeah. So I guess he didn't misunderstand.
Yeah, so we uh we rewrote the script,
Mm.
decided to ditch what we were doing, which was a bunch of still shots, and go rogue with it and
Mm.
do basically Blair Witch style.
Oh, nice.
And so the cameraman then became a character.
That's cool.
And then I took his lead role as a lead, and so I did a bunch of interviews, which is kind of funny,
Yeah.
kind of
That's
it's kind of
cool.
ironic thinking about it
Yeah, it's
now.
actually pretty cool.
But I did a whole bunch of interviews with different people around the school. We gave them
Uh-huh.
different names. Some of them
Mm.
were actually true stories of things that went on during the time that they were actually looking for the Goat Man on my
Oh,
reservation,
wow.
and some of them were part of the coalition that was looking for the Goat Man.
Oh, dang.
And so, but we made it as like a spoof.
Mm.
We just had fun with it, and you can tell I was kind of nervous because I was like, and okay, And so by saying okay, I meant you cut. That's the end of my scene right there. Let's move to something else. But then I was like, okay, and then I'm like awkwardly looking around a little bit, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, why'd you guys stop? I died at the end though,
Oh, dang. Okay, cool.
but I'm actually thinking about rewriting it
Uh,
because it was a good concept, and the goat
I
man's
like that
everywhere,
too. That's actually really, really cool.
And so I was thinking about rewriting it, redoing it.
Mm.
My old teacher actually sent me the original that we had recorded, and so it's in
Oh,
my
good
Google
job.
Drive, and so I'm just
That's
uh,
awesome. You should do it because like I'm already like I was actually just thinking that too. I'm like, that sounds cool. You should do that again. Seriously, dude, that sounds
uh,
cool.
there was one alternate ending that I was hoping that they would have left in there.
Mm.
There's one scene where we go running down the hallway towards the AV Tech class. And when we get down there, instead of going there, we ended up going to the server room where our teacher was, and the CCNA teacher was as well. And we walk in there, and he looks at us, and this is just genuine. He goes, "What are you guys doing?" And so the guy who plays the goat, who's dressed up and playing the goat man, he turns around, and we all like walk out slowly, and he got it like all on camera. It was just completely just by mistake, and I wish they would have left it in there. But that would have been a great alternate ending to it. Like, you guys been messing around this whole time. What are you guys doing? But we decided to go with the one where Some of us die.
Oh, okay.
And then we actually did the Blair Witch scene at the end where,
Oh, I'm
you
trying to
know,
remember. I've only seen the movie once because it did freak me out. So,
well, Slater, or one of the guys, Slater, he kind of is on his phone. He's like leaning against the wall. He's like, and then he starts talking on the phone rather than being dead. And so it looked like he was dead against there, standing against the wall. Because he's like, Slater, Slater. And then he goes, what? I'm on the phone.
ah, dang,
And
I don't
then
remember that scene.
me, myself, I was standing at the back and we had like red on the window. And
Hmm.
like I was standing around there like, take all off. And they turn around and he's like, what is that? I was like, it's ketchup. What are you doing? It's like this thing sandwich, it was like ketchup just splattered all over the side. We just went cheesy with it.
Yeah.
And then right at the end it said, no goats were harmed during the making of this film.
Nice.
But I never thought that I would go into acting off of that. I just kind of
Mm.
got out of there. I was like, I want to do camera work. There's a couple times I applied to be cameraman for like the Mavs and all that.
Oh, okay.
And then later on, I ended up writing a couple of different little comedy skits for
Mm.
this organization that me and my family were part of at one point.
Mhm.
And me and my sister ended up acting them out because nobody else would act them out. But I
Okay.
would they were really funny and everybody loved them. It's just these are tapes that'll never really ever see the public, just
Mm.
because it was a closed organization.
Oh, okay.
And then again, I never thought about getting into acting. I thought my sister was going to act. They paid for her acting classes and everything, and
Oh,
I just never
dang.
did it.
Interesting.
She ended up not even finishing the classes.
Hmm.
And then it was maybe a decade before I even got back into media, and it was actually at the IIAC powwow
Oh,
in
okay.
Cleburne, and it was Audrika Young who approached me.
It was
It's
who?
Audrika Young. She does a
Okay.
lot of the storytelling over there at the
Oh, yeah,
IIAC in
yeah.
Cleburne, yeah. And she said, "Hey, they're looking for more Indigenous actors to do background for Bass Reeves."
Oh,
And I
nice.
actually turned it down, you know,
Okay.
and it was actually Amy who wanted to do it. And she was
Hmm.
like, "Well, I want to do it, but I don't want to do it alone." I was like, well, "Andrika's going to be there." Our new friends will be there. It's like, "No, I don't want to do it alone." And I was like,
It's
"Oh,
like,
okay, well."
hint,
Yeah. I was like, "I don't want to do it."
hint.
It took about a week, and finally I was like, "Okay, fine, I'll go ahead and do it." So I made my account,
Nice.
I applied, and then they said yes. We got booked for, I think it was like 2 days.
Mm,
And then we got booked for 2 more days.
nice.
And I know, yeah, 2 more days. And then I got booked for 2 more days in Waxahachie. And
Mm,
so I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. And whenever I
right?
was over there by
Yeah.
myself in Waxahachie, Jeremy, one of the guys from what's it, Legacy Casting,
Hmm.
came up and he goes, a lot of people want to be actors. And you can't blame them. But I'm gonna tell you something. I was like, what's that? He goes, it's a look. You either have the look or you don't. If you have the look, they'll work with you and you'll go
Mm-hmm.
far. But if you don't have the look and you look like a lot of other people,
Hmm.
it's a lot hard. It's a harder uphill battle.
Yeah.
And so then he walked away and I was like, oh, cool tip.
Yeah.
And so after that, I didn't know that, he was talking about me.
Yes.
I just
Yeah.
thought that it was a conversation that we were just, having.
No, I mean, it's very true because even it's so funny. I was paying a bill or something like that, and we just happened to be talking. I'd be talking to them sometimes. And, somebody somehow we got into the conversation where they were like asking, like, what do you do for a living?
Mhm.
And that's when I told him, I was like, oh, I do storytelling. Like, I'm native, so I do native storytelling. I do workshops, blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, oh, well, definitely you get gigs then. And I didn't, I thought about it, I was like, yeah, that's true. Like, because as you're saying, like, it's your look, it's your niche, it's your thing, what like helps you stick out and helps you, yeah, stand out from the others. And so I've that's when I started to notice that, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, like, that's cool.
And just being indigenous, I mean, the pool is so small.
Yeah.
You just tend to keep getting work. And even with I know it's like with you, it's kind of hard to tell what nation we're from, you know? But
Right,
I
yeah.
noticed that they kind of like that a bit more because then you can play different nations. So, like with
Mhm.
me, I used to think, oh yeah, I look Blackfeet, you know?
Yeah, well, man, that's interesting and that you say that because I remember that first role that I got as a
Hmm.
Native American. I think they were Cree or something like
Hmm.
that. And then when I mentioned it to somebody else, another friend of mine who's also Native, they're like, why couldn't they find somebody from that nation? And I was like, huh? I was the only one available. A native too.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's some who look like skin like me.
Oh yeah, the Crees are
And
actually light skinned.
yeah, and
Yeah.
so that's funny. Somebody did tell me that too, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. So, and it yeah, that was kind of yeah. So there's that too, where right away I noticed that too, and I was like, well, we have that variety, we can do that, but then
Mhm.
there's some who will, well, why didn't they?
Yeah, of
It-
course. There's always the haters out there, but it's like, well, then if you're Cree and you're mad that they didn't choose a Cree, why aren't you the Cree that decided to step forward?
Right. And then they're not even Cree either. So
Yeah. Oh.
they're just like, and to go back to like, I'm definitely aware that there's not enough representation out there,
Hmm.
it's just whenever it came to the theater and that guy was talking about the niche and I was just like, yeah, yeah, like, and that honestly helped me because I was like, yeah, that is my thing. So
Hmm.
and I heard you when you were like, we need to promote ourselves as artists.
Hmm.
I'm very awkward about that, honestly. I honestly like it took me a while. Like I know it may look like I'm comfortable right now, but honestly, like I still feel nervous. I still get
Hmm.
all that. And it took me a while to really be like this
Yeah.
because before it was very different. And it definitely takes a while to grow into ourselves as
Hmm.
artists in these spaces. But I
You,
trailed off, but there was somewhere I was going with that. But anyways.
you gotta be like Stan from Kiss. You gotta selflessly promote yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
But I would like to see a lot more Indigenous representation. Each one of the
Yes.
tribes, whenever I was on 1923, there were Comanche out there, but
Mm,
they were setting up the teepees. And
mm.
then I did meet this little guy, Bird,
Oh, okay. I don't
and
know
he
who
was
this is.
his Comanche,
Uh-huh.
and I got to work with him,
Mhm.
and everybody was like, "You guys look alike. Are you sure you don't have you've never been to Lawton?" I'm like, "I've been to Lawton, but it's long before this guy was ever born." And so we did side by side photos, and he looks just like me too. And I'm like,
Mm.
man, I started noticing with the different ones in Comanche that I look kind of Comanche.
Mm.
And then whenever I was around a different nation, I think I was around a couple of different, like Apache, because I do have Apache in my lineage,
Oh, nice.
and I look like some of the Apache as well. And then the Blackfeet, they're really tall and skinny, and I
Mm.
was like, I don't really look like a lot of them, but it's kind of close, you know. And so it's just it's hard to tell which nation I'm from as far
Mhm.
as my looks go because I do have, Blackfeet, Sixica, I have blood, which is still around the same, I guess tribe you would say,
Mhm.
just different band. And then I also have the uh the Apache in me as well too. And so whenever I look at it, I'm like, man, it's hard to tell, and that I can see why other people don't know what I am.
Mm.
And so I do get these different roles to where it's like, hey, you're Comanche or you're Apache, you're this, and I've gotten Navajo, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I've also gotten Samoan.
I was gonna say you also got Hispanic before too, right? Or
I've
something
gotten
like that.
Hispanic, actually Puerto Rican. Oh, not Puerto Rican, Brazilian.
Okay.
Yeah, Brazilian.
Yeah.
So the reason why I say Puerto Rican is I don't know, because Portuguese. I had to learn a little Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese.
Mhm.
And that language is hard.
Yeah.
I speak a little Blackfeet, and that language is hard. It's because they sing their words.
Mm.
And I'm not used to being like, I'm not used to singing my words because it's like, they go up, they go down, they
Oh,
fluctuate their voice very well.
interesting.
And I'm like, wow, it's a beautiful language.
Huh.
It's just difficult for me to grasp a hold of because, as you can see, I kind of talk a little.
Then have you seen that movie, what, Captain America with the three of them? What
Hmm.
was it called? And then and she's married to that one guy and their tribe is like all singy. Do you not?
I haven't seen that one actually.
Yeah, it's
No.
the second or not Captain America. I'm not. That's not. Oh God, what's her name? Captain Marvel. There
Oh,
we go.
okay.
Captain
Gotcha.
America. Captain
I was
Marvel.
like, I don't remember them
I
singing
know,
it.
right? Where she goes to that plant with
Yeah.
her husband. It just reminded me. I was like, oh, that really exists. That's really cool.
But yeah, it's like it's to me it sounds like they're singing the words and I'm like,
Mm.
it's very beautiful whenever they say it. Whenever I say it, it's not very good at all. It sounds like I'm speaking Spanish. And so I have to change my mindset. I learned Spanish off of doing sales and I did take a Spanish class in high school, but they don't really teach you anything like
No,
conversation
yeah, they
wise.
don't.
And so a lot of mine came from, I worked on a landscaping crew
Mm.
and I worked around different roofers and, renovation work. They tend to speak a lot of Spanish. So I can understand it, but I can't speak it too well.
Mhm.
Being in sales is actually what got me to start speaking Spanish because
Mm.
the first term I learned was, Lo siento, yo habla poquito español, pero yo soy nativo indio.
Oh, nice.
See, I hablar Spanglish.
Nice.
Give them the big old smile. And then next thing you know, they're talking English to me. Love how that always works out.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's kind of my intro. So I know some Spanish. It's just learning that language was again beautiful, very
Yeah.
difficult.
Sounds really, really
And
beautiful.
actually, I don't know if you know her. Her name's Raquel Mahoney. She's Brazilian. She's actually trying to teach me some of it too.
Oh, nice.
And so she was an actor that was here in Texas, but moved out to Florida.
Mm.
But anyways,
No,
it's been a pretty cool journey.
yeah, no, and like it's in, when we were talking about like identities with me, like I get a lot of Hispanic
Mhm.
roles or like they'll also send me like native roles too. And but it's interesting within our community, I think I don't really obviously because of the way I look, but then with like the white community,
Mhm.
they're like, what are you?
They're like, you're not one of us.
Yeah, like and I'm serious, I've gotten it like, you look exotic. What are you? Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I get these
Mhm.
questions and I'm like, well, at least I'm not one of you. I'm like, thank you. But, unfortunately, on the other side, if there's people who hate white people, unfortunately, sometimes I get that. And I'm
Mhm.
like, hold up, buddy. I'm with you.
And that's actually where I was gonna ask next. Walking in two worlds is
Mm,
what it seems like, right?
yeah.
You're like in between.
Yeah.
And how do you manage that? Because I know that it can be difficult because
Yeah.
you got the indigenous people. You're not indigenous enough to be indigenous. You're not white enough to be white.
And that part I don't really care about.
Yeah, don't really care about that part, but
Yeah, and I mean, I did look into that side,
hmm
like the Spanish stuff, and there was just a lot of things I just didn't. I was like, no. If you looked into the stuff, like they do a lot of animal cruelty because of like their games that they've
hmm
done. I don't know if you looked into those games.
I hadn't looked very much into them, but
Well, I looked into this when I was a kid, and it
yes.
traumatized me. So, just just to give you, I mean, I'll just give an example. Like they have one game where they get a goat and they literally just throw it over a building. And I don't know what the point is, but these animals do die in these games.
Huh.
And there's other games. I'm not gonna even talk about the other ones because, like I said, it's just really bad.
hmm
But so I obviously, like for me as a kid, I was like, no. And my mom has always told me that I was native, and because in school, what I grew up with was the natives mysteriously disappeared type of narrative. And out there in Cali, I remember at Knott's Berry Farm and at museums and things like that, they always had natives as like a wax figure
hmm
and talking about us in a past tense.
hmm
And so my mother would always be like, "Recuerdas que es indígena?" Like she would tell me, "Remember you're native." And you carry that in your blood. And because her mom's mestizo, half native, half white,
hmm
and she knew her grandmother, full native. So she grew up with a mixture of those cultures.
Yeah.
And Costa Rica is really good with like having a mix of indigenous people. And the word pura vida actually comes from the natives. It comes from I don't want to say their name wrong, but I think it's pronounced the Maliku tribe. And forgive me if I'm saying y'all's name wrong, but they say capi capi. and that means pura vida, like pure life. That's
pretty cool.
and that's like their main like slogan out there. People who know like ticos, that's what they're called,
Yeah.
Costa Ricans, ticos, ticas, and that's like their motto. But so she would tell me all that, and it was just difficult growing up because I always felt there a connection with nature and animals, and you just get influenced by the colonial world society, and then so my connection from that was severe, and then I just kind of was on survival mode for a little bit until I start reconnecting,
Yeah.
and which has been like the best thing in the world. So I'm so glad that it helped me put so many pieces together, like what was native that I learned from growing up, like what was influenced by the Spaniards. Like I know how to make like corn, like masa, like right,
Yeah.
like so I know how to do these things. I know how to fish spear. Like there's things that I know how to do because from them. So
Yeah.
and now that I know what I know that it's not folks' fault.
Mhm.
So I just tell people like, look, I can't help the way I look. Like you said, I'm like really in the middle, like of that. And I don't mind on one side where they can tell for sure she's and I make sure like I bring this blanket with me everywhere. I'm like, no, you're gonna notice. You're gonna you're gonna see.
Yeah.
And and then when it comes to like our community though is definitely more chill because
Mhm.
there is lateral violence within our communities. Have I experienced that before? Yes, unfortunately, once only.
Mhm.
But I feel like our community is definitely more understanding of our
Yeah.
history and all that. So it's just other communities that just need more education. Again, it's not on me. It's on the people that.
Yeah. It's a lot of it. What I see is more like a defeated mindset type,
Yeah.
and so it's where they're like, oh, I hate all white people because they did this to us,
Right. Yeah.
and yet they're sitting there, hand out, they just kind of get set like that because that's something that they're like whenever indigenous were people were first put on the reservation, you kind of see things like there's a film out that's called Bury My Heart in Wounded Knee,
Mm. I
and
haven't seen that one yet, but I've heard it's so
yeah,
good.
Adam Beach was actually in that one.
Mm.
It's based on the book, which has a lot more details than the film does,
Okay.
but it's about it's about a young about an indigenous man that is played by Adam Beach,
Okay.
and he's actually one of the ones that's been kidnapped off of the reservation and sent to one of the indigenous boarding schools,
Oh.
forced to go to school, forced to go to medical school and all this other stuff. He continued his education, and then he goes back to the reservation to try to be a doctor there.
Hmm.
But whenever he goes back, all he sees people are wanting, what they called medicine, which was, opiates basically. It's a whole bunch of concoction of drugs and alcohol.
Oh man.
And they don't want to be cured. They just, they're like this medicine, please, or
Mm.
they're looking for the handout. And that mentality is what I see has been passed down,
Yeah.
and being because I was up on my reservation up there a lot. A lot of them use it as excuse to continue to drink,
Mm.
continue to do drugs, and it's like, well, that we're no longer stuck in those days to where we're prosecuted like that.
Yeah.
It's like it's hard to get everybody restarted again. It's like there's whole generations that have been passing down trauma, and now it passes down to the youth. And even if you don't even grow up on the reservation, and when you start finding out the truth of what happened, it's like, the inside just kind of you get angry, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, I've always been a very positive person, kind of a glass half full kind of person, thinking, I have the ability to change my future, and so that's kind of what I've gone through. But I know that not everybody's like that because being raised in that, especially, you see the defeated mentality of your parents, your grandparents, and so then it passes down to you. However, I noticed that my classmates from whenever I was up there, a lot of them are trying to make a difference. I have one of my friends. He goes by Dead Dog Lake on TikTok and Instagram and all that.
Mhm.
And just because that's a lake, a little pond or a lake that's on our reservation
Oh,
where all the
nice.
dogs go to die.
Oh.
But anyways, because you might see that at the end of Goatman Prophecies, this says Dead Dog
Okay.
Lake Productions.
Nice.
But anyways, we used to call him Animal because his hair was all wild and he was a drummer and everything. Kind of reminded us of Animal from the Muppets.
No.
Anyways, a really cool guy. His name is Robert.
Mm.
Uh, but he used to do language classes, you
Mhm.
know, and I know that he's been one that's been trying to make a difference. He's a very positive guy. He's got on the outward ways. Uh, I know that he has his struggles on the other side, but he's a very positive guy, and he's one of the guys trying to make change.
That's
There's
good.
several others that were from my class that are still making changes, but here's the one that I kind of tend to keep up with the most because
Nice.
we still talk every once in a while, and
Mhm.
sometimes whenever I'm looking for a role and I want to put some Blackfeet in there,
Mm.
he's the guy that I'll ask for, how to pronounce it right. So
Mm.
that way, he can help me out on the roles. He just doesn't do his classes anymore because he
Mhm.
doesn't want major corporations stealing these lessons
Mm.
and making money off of it without giving any credit to
Yeah,
me, to
exactly.
the tribe. And so I can understand where it's coming from. That's also that got into my head because I used to, do some from the De La Salle program,
Mhm.
and I would learn some of the words and then put it on my podcast.
Hmm.
But then I was like thinking about, I was like, you know what? He's got a point there.
Hmm.
They just take it from us and then, put it on there. And then next thing you know, everybody else is learning our language
Yeah.
and they're not even members of our tribe, you
Yeah.
know? And so now I just learn what I learn and I teach my kids.
Mm. Nice.
My son earlier, because I've been doing these for a while, and I have my greeting that I do, which is in Blackfeet.
Okay.
But today was the first time that my Jesse, my youngest,
Mhm.
was actually interested in learning what I had to say and what it meant.
Oh, nice. That's
And I'm
good.
like, man, after a year of doing it, and now he's interested because I tried to teach him before, but he was just shut off to it.
Hmm.
But at that time, our relationship was a little bit different as well because I
Mm.
worked a lot. I didn't do his
Mm.
homeschool. I didn't spend the amount of time with him like I do now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I've noticed a difference there too.
Yeah.
But, you know, the languages are dying
Mm.
and it's really up to us to keep them
Mhm.
going.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, with that in mind, and I don't mean to put you on the spot or anything,
You're okay.
did you happen to learn any of your language as well? I've heard you speak a little bit of it.
Yeah, so I started to, and then there was a while where I noticed I was like, I haven't been practicing. And then recently, so I know some stuff,
Mhm.
and I do have a book. I didn't know this book was in Spanish, so, which makes sense because we were colonized in a sense by the Spaniards.
Mhm.
So Mexico, right, that's still just rebranded Spain. And so obviously the book was going to be in Spanish and Yaqui. So I didn't think about that. I was like, oh, I should have realized that. The thing is, I bring that up because I can speak Spanish, but I can't really read it.
Okay.
But I mean, I can read it, but I'm just not that great at it.
Mhm.
And I am practicing on Spanish. So I was like, I guess, this helps me practice my Spanish because when it comes to the words, they're actually in English too.
Mhm.
It's just the description telling me about it. The teaching is in
Yeah.
Spanish.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay. So I would read it. So of course I've read it and I'm but I'm like, dang, I'm over here trying to learn Yaqui, and now I'm like trying to translate, make sure I'm understanding Spanish right. Oh yeah, but it's good, it's good for the brain to exercise it that way.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, that's the only reason I ask because I do know that there's something that we need to continue on with our
Yeah.
generations because if we don't take control of it and change it around,
Mhm.
it's something that very real could become an extinct language.
Yeah. No, seriously. I actually started learning even sign language, but to like iterate to bring that in with performing.
Hmm.
With that performance, brought in a little bit. I wish I had time to bring in more, but I will practice that to bring in more just because of the time and getting ready for this weekend. I'm also vending this weekend. So, and make sure I have products this weekend as well. But I'm practicing, but I'm not able to add too much because sign language, obviously, that's like your
Oh, yeah.
another teaching.
Yeah.
And I'm already moving my body around. As I mentioned, I'm kind of fixing little spots where I didn't have too much time to like work on and get a little better. So I'm working on that, and that takes a lot of muscle memory too.
Yeah.
But I think sign language is pretty cool because I know that's something that our ancestors, how they
Yeah.
communicated that way non-verbally. And I think that's important to learn too, because I remember this was maybe like 2, 3 years ago. We were like in a circle, and this was at the Sacred Springs powwow, and somebody over there, they were like with their rattler. And I remember somebody taught us, well, I know who taught us. It was an elder,
Mhm.
Dennis, who taught us about you can't be using those in the there's protocols and stuff like that. I know this isn't nothing new that I'm saying. So he taught us that, and I was like, that's
Majority of our viewers, it's actually pretty new.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. So he's one of our elders, and he's from the Dene. And there's protocols that we do in the circles and the intertribal things like that. So if you're new in there, some of us don't know. And he properly educated us, and so I've kept that in mind since. Like, don't rattle our rattlers and during certain
Mhm.
times. Just actually not at all. So but I saw somebody doing that, and I just pointed at this, and I went like that.
Mm.
Because they're over there, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna yell. There's the drums going on, and then so they completely understood.
Mhm.
But then somebody came up to me, and they were like, use your words. And I was like, that is words.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I just ignored it, and I was like, okay. And nothing against them, I know, but sometimes just some people can just,
Yeah.
but I was just I thought that was kind of odd. I was like, did they not teach nonverbal communication in school? They taught us. And I know with schools now it's just a little different. So
Yeah.
they definitely taught me about nonverbal communication, the
Mhm.
sign language, and that's
Yeah. See, like up on the reservation, they taught us a little bit of the indigenous signs.
mm,
But whenever I
I would love
came,
to learn
did
that.
any school off the reservation, I actually didn't learn any at all.
Mm,
And so that's something that was a secondary, like an elective class.
mm,
And so they don't really see it's not part of the major curriculum anymore.
mm,
It's something that you can take as a language class itself, but I mean, they just tell you, hey, it's like the language class. They don't tell you, you know, you don't really get to learn what it is. It's like, hey, do I want to speak German? Do I want to speak French? Do I want to speak, there's so many things that can entice you away from it without realizing that, hey, there's a lot of people that only speak sign language, only
mm.
understand sign language. I said speak, but
Yeah, but yeah, you know
only
what I'm saying.
understand sign language. And, I think that it should be a base one, to be honest,
Yeah.
especially whenever you're young.
Hmm.
Because I've been seeing like different studies
Yeah,
to where like even babies, they can learn sign language
way
really fast
faster.
first than speaking.
Hmm.
And I'm like, man, that should be something that we should all learn, to be honest,
Hmm.
because that helps not only parents out, it helps out the kids, it helps out the
Yeah.
people who can't speak at all or
Hmm.
can't hear. And it's just like, that should be honestly a base language that we should all learn.
No, I
That's my opinion.
agree. Yeah, I think it's beautiful to learn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, but sorry, I
Mhm.
also caught on that you also have a table this weekend.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What kind of products are you gonna have at your
So
table?
I will be selling. Well, hopefully, I need to hear the okay. I think Annette Anderson got the okay, so hopefully I'll be selling chamoy candy. And
Nice.
I did bring something for us to try, but the thing is, it's my first time making these gummies. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, like we're not going to be able to try. I was like, we should taste this together, and on the camera it'd be
Yeah.
fun, but it doesn't have enough gelatin in it. So like, I
Oh,
thought I gotta redo it. I thought that would be pretty cool.
okay.
So I was like, because I want to have these gummies ready for this weekend,
Okay.
and it's I call them holistic bun gummies, but it's just like natural gummies. Like these are hibiscus, jamaica, which
Oh, nice.
jamaica, right? That's the
Yeah.
um
And hibiscus too. Hibiscus is
yeah,
good
that's
for
how you
blood
call it
sugar.
in English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. Jamaica is what they
Duh.
call it in the Spanish, and then English hibiscus. I just recently learned it. I thought it was two different things too, so you're good. So if you thought the same thing, you're good.
Cool. Well, I totally thought it was something else.
Yeah. Same thing.
Okay. Well, good to learn. You learned something new.
Yeah. Yeah, so unfortunately we're not gonna be able to try it because hopefully, but I'll have them out. I do plan on having some samples, and those might be the samples because, like I said, I'm redoing it and doing it, and I'm like, we're gonna have this one as a sample, but we will have some other ones. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Well, what I plan on doing, because I don't want to work any kind of table, I will be doing the stick quality demonstrations, but I'm actually going to be going around with my camera and I'm going to be doing some pre-recorded interviews with dancers, vendors, stuff like
Oh, nice.
that. Because there's a whole section that I want to start up on there, which is, showing the indigenous side. And
Mm.
so while I do have the podcast, which is dedicated to entertainers,
Mhm.
and dancers are also entertainers too, but it's more
Yeah.
cultural. What I plan on doing is my base company of it
Mhm.
is TEWLD Productions. And so, I'm gonna go around, do individual interviews, put a whole nother section to the YouTube that's
Yeah.
dedicated to just cultural and powwows. I'm gonna talk to the dancers, get, what does their regalia mean?
Mm.
I'm gonna have people explain the difference between regalia and costume.
Yeah, we need to.
What does the regalia mean? What does their dance mean? So that way
Mhm.
people can understand, grass dance, this is what it was traditionally
Yeah.
used for. Today this is what we do now.
Mhm.
I'm hoping to get it. I'm actually Eli was going to come on the show before too.
Oh yeah,
He
nice.
just wasn't feeling too good at the time,
Oh.
so we had to reschedule for in the middle of April. So I'm gonna get a quick interview with him on the football field,
Oh, nice.
so that way we can help promote his episode, which is coming up.
Nice.
And
Awesome.
so I'm pretty excited about that as well.
Yeah.
But different, artists,
Mhm.
what does their art mean? What is, like dream catchers? Everybody thinks that
Mm.
it means one thing whenever it's like, and ours actually it represents like the spider, and it goes by the
Mhm.
entrance of the door, not over your bed, you know.
Mm.
It goes either the door or the window, somewhere where, you know, negative energy and spirits can
Nice.
come through.
I don't
And
think dream
so,
catchers are really a part of our natural thing, but
yeah.
that's pretty cool to
And
learn.
so, but I see different artists that do really good work,
Mm.
and a lot of them know a lot more of the history than I do.
Mm.
And so I want to get it from their tribe's perspective, and then the next one from, because each tribe has a different
Yeah.
background on some of them. So I want to get different perspectives and put those up as well as I want to re-record
Mm.
Drake Young's storytelling, because
Oh.
I did it the first time and then I edited it, and it was my very first video editing. And I look at it now and I'm like, man, I could have done such a better job at that. And so now I want to do it the right way. And back then I didn't have the mics or anything. What I
Mm.
did was I had my Canon and I
Mhm.
had my phone. I hit record at the same time.
Ah,
So I recorded the audio on the phone
I see.
and
Yeah.
recorded the video on the camera.
Hey.
And then I mended it together,
Mhm.
which it turned out really cool.
Yeah.
But every once in a while you can see like talking, or I can see talking. It's like the lips are moving, but the words aren't coming out yet. And I'm like, man, I could have done so much better. The color was all off, and
Mm.
I'm like, man, I could. Now I'm like, I do so much better, so I want to redo that for her, because whenever I shared it to her, she said, I look forward to you improving on your work. She's so nice.
Oh, that's the sweetest thing ever. Nice. I'm gonna
Yes.
take notes. Sometimes
And
I don't know what to
so,
say. I'm like,
yeah.
oof.
And so now a year later, I want to redo it and show her, hey,
Mm.
this is the advancements I've made.
Nice. Yeah.
Here's the technology that I've implemented and added to it. And so to, do a much better job now. And I'm gonna unlist the original video. It's just it has a lot of the stories in there, which was really, really good. And I like the
And where
storytelling.
was so this was actually at an event that you filmed it at, or
Yeah, it
where?
was at the IIC powwow last
That's
year.
right. Dang, I was gonna say like how come you don't redo it, but you can't redo that.
Yeah,
Oops,
no.
sorry.
But she tells a lot of the similar stories. I'm not sure if she changes them up,
Mhm.
but either way, I kind of want to re-record for her, on that, and because she does it in the little old church building that was there
Mm.
on the grounds, she does it inside there. And then there's a few other
Oh.
speakers who go in there and talk, as well as other storytellers.
Yeah,
And
I haven't been in there.
I would love to get each one of those stories as well too, get them recorded, get them edited the right way,
Mm-hmm.
and put them out there online so that way people can see them,
Mm-hmm.
and learn more, because what they have to say is very important. I think
Yes.
last year was oh man, I can't remember. Shoot,
Tanya? I know
yes,
Tanya wasn't
Tanya.
there. Mm-hmm.
I
Tanya
wanted to
Clark.
get Tanya's as well, but I was working a table at the time for the water
Mm-hmm.
company. And so it prevented me from doing a lot of things that I wanted to do.
Oh.
This year, I have every intentions of not running any kind of table
Yeah, so you
and
can.
doing everything, because
Mm.
there was the Aztec dancers that came up, or the ones from Mexico that came up. I believe they said they were the Jaguar dancers.
What? We had Jaguar dancers
I
last year?
think they were, yeah. I think they were Jaguar dancers. I don't remember. They're the ones that came up from Mexico, and they had the
Oh,
Jaguar
yeah, yeah, yeah.
whistles.
So yeah, she's not in our group, but she's in a different group. Yes. Hmm.
Okay. I,
She'll be
I
there this weekend
Okay,
too.
cool. But the hard part is that they speak Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really speak a lot of English. And so I'm thinking of trying to have somebody that can help translate,
Ah.
or else, uh, pre-record it and then
Mm-hmm.
have somebody, might dub it in English, the answers,
Oh yeah,
have
yeah.
somebody help me because I can't understand it.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty. Yeah, like asking her where she's talking. She was actually there at the powwow this past weekend. Did you see her?
Okay. I did not.
Yeah,
I
she had a
was
table.
okay. I was
You
most.
probably because
Oh,
like
actually, yes, I did.
yeah.
Um, I met her and her husband. Her husband speaks English,
Mm-hmm.
and they took a photo with me at the Panther City powwow.
Okay, yeah, yeah, they were there.
Yeah,
Nice.
and so because they were like, "Are you an actor?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am actually."
Nice.
And she was like, "Oh, I want a photo with you," so took a photo
She's
with
so
them. So
sweet.
yeah,
She's amazing. But yeah, she was there this past weekend, and yeah, I think that'd be cool. Like where she's just and you have the translations underneath.
yeah. But there's so much more that I want to do with the show, because I am going to be helping out with Diff, and working with them to do some of the indigenous ones, like Keep Quiet.
Mhm.
Whenever they start doing their stuff on the for the Dallas Independent Film Festival, we're working on getting me a media pass so that way I can do some red carpet interviews as well.
Nice. Heck yeah.
And I would love to use this platform to live stream the red carpet event. I
Yes.
think that it would be awesome. It'd be on Facebook. It'll also be on YouTube. I can put it on their actual page too, as either a co-host, kind of like how I did with you,
Mm-hmm.
or I can put it, or else we can use theirs as a destination page as well.
Mm.
And so there's just
And what event is this for?
Dallas Independent Film Festival. There's a
Oh, that
film
one's
festival
coming
coming
up.
up
When is it? That one is
in
in May,
April.
right? Oh, it's this month?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
24th. That's like the 13th to the 25th or something like that.
Yeah.
But like
Nice.
Keep Quiet is coming out, which is a film with Lou Diamond Phillips.
Mm-hmm.
A name we
Oh,
haven't heard in a long time.
mm.
La Bamba.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, hello.
He's been in a lot of things since, but everybody
Right.
knows him from La Bamba.
Yeah.
So he did a film called Keep Quiet. Yeah, Keep Quiet, which I actually had an audition for.
Oh,
It was filmed
really?
in Oklahoma.
Mm.
And so I know I bombed the audition.
Oh, darn.
But
It probably didn't. There is sometimes I tell myself it's just you're not like the look, like you weren't the.
yeah, probably wasn't the look, but I know I bombed the audition. I know. I felt like I bombed the audition, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I'm sending this in. You ever have any auditions like that?
Yes. Actually, I have.
Yeah, that was one of those where I'm like, I can't believe I'm sending this in, but send. And so I wasn't surprised when I didn't get a call back. But yeah, there are other projects that I have, and like you said, sometimes it comes down to the look. Sorry,
Mhm.
it caught on me.
No, you're good.
But because there have been times where I've put in for a project
Mhm.
and they didn't have anybody that matched my description,
Mm.
and then they either write in a character for me or they
Mm.
change a character for me.
Oh, nice.
And so there was one show that I did the pilot for where it was the character's last name was Lindbergh.
Okay.
It's German last name, right?
Yeah.
But then they just dropped the last name and added me as that character.
Oh, okay.
And so then it was just Mike.
Nice.
And so, but that's why I always tell people, even if you don't match it, they don't know what they're looking for until they see you.
Yeah, sometimes they don't know, and that's like the creative process. Like you have this, you just I don't know how to really describe it. Just that creative process, and when you're doing it, and then you're like, hey, I see that. That's it now.
Yeah.
Can't really describe our minds. It's very.
And the funny part was that was actually one of the first ones that I actually did any kind of lines or speaking for, and it was a live audition.
Mm.
I was sweating bad. I was like,
Those are, yeah. I'm
it
glad
was
we don't do those
nerve-wracking.
anymore,
Me
honestly.
too.
Gosh, I'm honestly glad we do tape self tapes now because
Yes.
when I was started out, like, how long ago did you start out? Like, what?
3 years ago.
Okay, so when I was started out, it was nothing but like live auditions, like in
Yeah.
person auditions. Everything was in person, and if you wanted to audition for something in LA, you needed to go all the way out there for it. I never did that, but like I know that there were people had that have done that.
Yeah.
And here, yeah, man, I remember those days, like just showing up, and sometimes you just get randomly with somebody, but it was also fun too because it's so yeah, like you get so nervous and it helps you like each time it just kind of helps you practice like don't get so nervous anymore. So I feel like all that helped me with theater because
Mhm.
theater is still like that.
Oh yeah.
Theater, you need to go and go to live auditions. And I remember I recently did one. And I was like, dang, I haven't done a live audition in a minute. And but it still felt in a sense normal then. Like it felt normal. Not that it has always felt that way, but at that
Mhm.
time I was like, okay, but this does feel kind of like not it just grew to feel normal,
Yeah,
right?
you
Like
don't feel as awkward anymore.
yeah, and but I know obviously didn't get the part, and I know, and I remember I forgot that I turned my back towards them. And I was like, yeah, I turned my back. You're in the moment. I just yeah. So
Mhm.
oops. So there's a little a little fan, but yeah, I was like, yeah, oopsie.
Honestly, other than the quick auditions that I did back in high school, I've never done theater. I know that there's
Mm,
some that prefer theater or trained,
mm,
but I've never really done that. I know that it helps you out with projecting your voice.
yeah.
Uh, I've always had a hard time projecting my voice.
The theater would help because I have such a soft voice, and so
Mhm.
whenever I started out, they're like, "What are you saying?" I'm like, "Oh, like so that's where yeah, I started learning how to do that. Now I'm learning how to I guess balance it. I'm like, "Oh, now I'm too loud. Okay, hold on. Let me figure this out."
Nice. Well, this has actually been very interesting. I enjoyed learning all this about you. That's actually really cool. A lot of your history and your background.
But thank
And
you.
I'm sure that there's other people that are out there that are like, hey, I don't think I want to do it. I don't know if I can. How do I
Mhm.
balance this out? And I'm pretty sure a lot of your advice has also helped other people, because that's part of the show is, you know, everybody started off somewhere.
Mhm. Yeah.
Most of us didn't even start off in acting where we're at.
Yeah.
Like I didn't.
Yeah.
I've been in sales for over 20 years, and
Mm.
honestly, that's helped me a lot.
Mhm.
Because sales, as far as what I can see it tell, really is acting.
Yeah. No, seriously.
And
Mhm.
so, you know, I'm being genuine with people,
Mhm.
but I've learned because roofing, especially, and some of the other stuff that I've sold are all emotional sales.
Mhm.
You got to draw them in and make them care about, because a lot
Yeah.
of people don't care about their houses.
Yeah.
And they bought it. They just think, hey, this is all that's left. I just live in this house.
Oh, yeah.
And so a lot of times when I come across people, they'll be like, oh, yeah, the roof is up there. I'm like, you're missing shingles. I am. And so most don't even know what damage looks like. And so I'm
Mm.
educating them. Sorry,
Mhm.
my
No, you're
goodness.
good. He's hanging out with
I
us.
know, right? uh, you know, they don't know what insurance companies look for or what they care to look for. They don't know what their shingles look like up there. There's people who've had roofs for over, being in the industry, I learned that 5 to 8 years is a good time to get it changed out, depending on the style of roof you have. If you
I
have a
didn't know that.
Yeah, if you have a 3 tab or the lower side, you're
Mhm.
looking at anywhere from 3 to 5.
Mm.
If not, before then, because over 1 inch hail or bigger has hit it. And so
That's good
yeah,
to
there's
know.
there's a lot of stuff that's involved in it.
Mm.
It's just, people don't really think about this because they have everything else going on in their lives.
Yeah.
So then it's like, hey, you should care about your roof, you know?
Mhm.
And so I paint pictures for them, I show them the evidence. I tell them, what could happen. Most people don't know that after anywhere from 8 to 10 years,
Mhm.
if you don't ever get your roof changed, they'll actually switch your policy on you.
Oh.
They'll tell you, hey, I can show you how to save money on your policy, and they switch you from full coverage, which will pay for majority of the roof,
Mhm.
to an ACV policy, which is like liability only, just having
Hmm.
insurance to have it.
We
And
definitely got to talk more about this off camera because I got some things there's some things I need to repair, and I've been thinking about, do I get my insurance involved in this or what? So
we'll talk about it
he
more
sounds
later.
like the guy that I need to talk to.
And some of the things that set me aside is because I helped, when I worked with my dad, we would put roofs on as well. And
Mm.
so he's the one that taught me how to put a roof together
Okay.
and have one, to install. And I've kind of worked with some of the crews every once in a while as the guy that carries the shingles.
Mhm. Nice.
But you learn a lot of this stuff from watching them do it. And then moving from that to fighting with the insurance companies, it's like, well, no, that's installed improperly,
Mm.
and this is a discontinued shingle. There's a whole complex part that I've learned to it, that even I go into the attic and I look in the attic to check the decking,
Hmm.
just, and the codes, we try to stay up to date with the codes.
Nice.
And it's just, there's a lot more to it than what people think whenever,
Yeah.
and even a lot of the salesmen too,
Mm.
because I've come across a lot of people that are like, yeah, that was just a salesman, he was just over here trying to sell me.
Oh yeah.
And I've had sit downs with guys who are engineers,
Mhm.
and they just sit there and they grill me,
Mhm.
and I go right through it, and they're like, "All right, let's go ahead and move forward."
That's it,
They
yeah.
told me they've kicked other people off out of their properties
Mhm.
because they didn't know what they were talking about, and I'm like, "Hey, that makes me feel good." But
Nice.
anyways, there's a lot of things to think about, and
Mhm.
that goes for any industry really. And
Yeah.
that, I feel like that's helped me out with my acting, because it's a script and it's improv between homeowners,
Mm. Mhm.
based on the homeowner's needs, based on the
Mhm.
damage that I see, based on the way that they react to where I go next.
Mhm.
And so while I'm sitting there with the homeowner, I'm improving with them
Yeah.
through the process, to the point that I'm like, hey, look, this is your house. Ultimately, you're the one that makes the last decision. I can't make this decision for you.
Yeah.
Would you like to start this process and get going on it and get it fixed? Or do you want to wait until it leaks and becomes a serious problem and then have to fight the insurance company?
Yeah.
And so, ultimately I'll leave the decision to them. I'm what you call a soft closer.
Mm.
I'm not a hard or a bull closer, which comes through here. You got damage. Sign this.
Yeah. I want to say I'm a soft closer too, because I remember working at Puma and just other places like where I was a sales, um, and just being yeah, I was a soft closer. And I remember our manager though, she was so aggressive, and they would be like, "I like you better." I'm like, "Well, I am the MVP, and what was it? I think it was like MVP sales
Mhm.
associate for that."
Nice.
So I was like, "Okay, cool." Um, Gosh, you said something else too that like reminded me of something, and then I lost that train of thought. So maybe I'll remember off camera. I don't remember what it was, but it was a good thought. But
We'll
then it
add it
just
as a quote.
flowed away. Yeah.
But yeah, even whenever I sold cars,
Mm,
the finance manager would come out and be like, "Hey, Love, that was your client, wasn't it?"
mm.
I'm like, "Yeah. How could you tell?" They said, "Every one of your clients say the same thing. We weren't planning on buying today." They was like, "What are you doing different?" I was like, "Well, I stopped being a hard closer to where it's like, here, do this payment,
Yeah.
this. sign, you know. I was like, I paint
Yeah.
pictures for people. I'm like, hey, you know, do you feel this? Do you see yourself in this car for the next, you know, 3 to 5 years on average? That's what people tend to hold on to cars. I
Right.
was like, right now, does it match the outside of your personality? Is it like an outer shell of you? And they're like, if they say yes, then I'm like, okay, cool. Let's go ahead and discuss this and see what we can do to make that happen.
Yeah, now I remember what I was gonna say because what you just said reminded me of that. I it's funny because like going back to like talking about like putting myself out there,
Hmm.
it's hard, right? But like when sales and all that, like it was just easy for me to just be like, like this product, blah blah, whatever,
Yeah.
and being able to add on more stuff to it and all this. And I would think about that. I'm like, gosh, you were able to like sell all that stuff. But I say that because when it comes to like this capitalistic world, which I don't
Hmm.
really like participating in, but we're forced to participate in,
Yeah.
and I've just never had a real a motivation for money. Like
Hmm.
it's just one of those where it's like obviously you got to work, you got to pay bills, things like that. So that was just what I was doing.
Yeah.
It wasn't until a couple years ago till I started learning about investments and things like that, and so I started getting more into that. And but that's when I was thinking about like us putting ourselves out there, just about exactly what you were talking about earlier, like putting ourselves out there, promoting ourselves. And I was telling myself, like, how come you have a problem doing that for yourself?
Hmm.
Like it's very interesting. It may look like I don't have a problem, but I do. And it's because it's not something where I it's not like I want the attention. I'm actually pretty shy. I know I look like I feel that I'm pretty chill too.
Hmm.
But I am a shy person and I don't to be a public speaker, as I mentioned, that took time because I remember in school when I had to get in front of people to talk, I was no, 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 just like fiddling with something, or if there was a microphone, if I'm fiddling with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I fiddle around, and I actually realized I didn't bring my little worry stone where I can like fiddle with it. But
Actually, you kind of
oh, do you have one?
mine dropped a little bit, but this is my grounding
Nice.
stone.
That's yours. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm always like, I'm like, where's
and
mine?
it's actually got a nice part right there where I can kind of hold on to it. And it just kind of fits perfectly in the hand.
I
So
love those things. Yeah.
yeah.
And I tell myself like if I could sit there and sell this product that really doesn't. I mean, it's not that it doesn't matter. It's cool and everything, but really that's all they're doing too because it's marketing, right?
Hmm.
Like you got to know how to learn how to market to people, and that's literally all they're doing. Is the product truly like let's be for real? Like is the product truly making a difference in the world? It sometimes kind of,
Yeah.
but and so that's where I had to tell myself, especially like especially with the sanctuary, like building that up
Hmm.
and with the storytelling, it being different because to me, I'm like, I'm talking about something that's different. This isn't, it's like it's decolonizing in front of people, but it's obviously I'm not shouting it to them and
Yeah.
talking about people on our tribe and things like that. I try not to make it to where I'm shouting at people. I just want them to get to know us, have a
Yeah.
relationship, see who we are,
And
and
you know,
but
one thing
yeah,
about that is even at that too, it's like you're walking a fine line to
yeah,
where if you do it too much, then they're gonna be like, oh, they're pampering to other people. They're getting a
yeah,
big head about themselves, you know. But if you
yeah,
don't do it enough, then it's like, oh, they don't care about it, you know.
yeah, and that's why where
They
I've
say they care about it, but then they're
yeah,
not pushing it, you know. And it's like,
yeah,
how do you walk that fine line? That's the hard part. So, and it's come to the point where it's like, you know what?
you just
I'm gonna have haters either way.
either way, no matter what you
Yeah,
do, yeah, you
yeah.
just gotta tune them out.
At least, you know, what I'll be able to do is I'm able to educate the people who don't know,
Yeah,
which is the whole point behind it.
exactly,
Because
yeah,
then if they don't know, then how do you expect them to stop disrespecting?
exactly, yeah.
So that's kind of the way I've had to start looking at it, you know?
Yeah, and that's how I've started, now that I have this motivation to where the sanctuary and I saw this interview of Steve Irwin where they asked him about I don't know what the question was. I haven't seen the whole interview. It was just real.
Hmm.
So I don't know exactly the question, but he was like, "Oh, I love money. I can't get enough of it." Like, and he was just like, "Oh, use it for conservation and all that." And I was like, yes.
Mhm.
And because I have a motivation of where I didn't have the motivation where, oh, I wanted nice cars or things like that. And
Mhm.
I think that's what motivates people to want to have like a lot of money because they want to travel, they want to have the nice cars and things like that. I didn't have that.
Yeah.
It's just more of like, well, I'm good. I got a house. I'm bills are being paid, whatever. Even though recently I've dealt with something which was oh, that's another thing, but that was not me. That's servers and lenders trying to
Mhm.
steal from us.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, that's a whole other thing. But it it just I just lost my train of thought because I was started thinking about that and just made me upset.
I'm sorry.
um
You said that you didn't have the motivation for money.
yes, and so now though, yeah, like that's the conservation. I'm like, and
Mhm.
whenever I got into the theater, I didn't even know what I wanted to do with that, to be honest. Whenever I quit my job to get into theater,
Yeah.
I had no idea what I wanted to do. I didn't want to do breaking because as a B girl, I was like, I don't want to do this. Like,
Mhm.
and so that's whenever the native storytelling came in, and then that's where just everything blew up from there. But even then, it just seemed like like I'm doing what I'm doing. And I love this.
Mhm.
Obviously, the money and all of that, like it's good and all that. But again, it was just like, but it's again, it was when I found the native storytelling.
Mhm.
That's what I'm trying to get at right now. I'm like, what am I trying to say right now? The native storytelling is really what was like, this is the purpose. This is what I want to do. I want to tell people whatever native is out there, whatever, it doesn't matter anymore. Cause like you said, like it seems like if you do good, you're gonna get haters anyways.
Mhm.
And no matter what you do. And I hear this from other people who've made it too, like even Mr. Beast. Like I've actually watched some of his stuff, his interviews, not his actual stuff, because I'm not
Yeah.
into his things.
Yeah.
But I'm into the business side of him because that's something that I'm learning. Because as an artist, honestly, we're not really great at business. I know I'm not, but I've had to learn. In the
Mhm.
last year, I started really like, you know what, you need to hone in on this. As artists, we do need to like
Yeah.
get honed in on the business side. And especially now, like I said, like I'm like, I know what I want to do. I love native storytelling. I love putting this stuff out there. I love these
Mhm.
workshops. I love the products because I do handmade stuff, like this, things like that.
Nice. That's cool.
um, but again, it's just like, and now with the sanctuary, it's like, yes, I know what I'm building and the goal, the
Mhm.
mission, and what I want to build for. And yeah, so like I get what Steve Irwin was saying when he was just like, I can't have enough on it. And
Yeah.
his story, which is cool, he started with 2 acres.
Mhm.
Now he has over, like literally over 50,000 acres
Yeah.
of conservation.
That's awesome. It's awesome that it keeps going,
Yeah.
because one thing that, especially as an artist, you get to the points where it's like, yes, you want to follow your passions and do what you do, right?
Hmm.
But if you become too successful, that's what I was looking for was people start calling you a sellout. And you
Yeah.
don't want to be seen as a sellout because you're an artist.
It also depends what you do
And
too. I feel
it
like there's
depends on what you
some
do,
people
but
that,
I mean, there are some people that do sell out, but
yeah,
a lot of times if you become too successful, at it, people will see you that way
yeah,
anyways, just
there's some that will.
because the jealousy kicks in.
Yeah.
And so, I think that as long as you stay true to yourself without
Mhm.
actually selling
Oh
out,
yeah,
that
yeah.
is a difference because then you start making a difference and it doesn't
Mhm.
matter, what the haters say at that point.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
but
So yeah,
anyways, let me go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. We've hit the
yeah.
2 hour mark, okay?
Okay, yeah.
And I appreciate it. Now, I was really hoping that my new end credit scene that worked so hard on
Oh,
uh would play. However, it never uploaded. And so I've been trying to upload it so many times and it had your name in it because you're in this episode.
oh.
But it may be something that I may have to add a little bit later on as an edit in.
It's all good.
But either way, I do appreciate you. Do you have any shout outs that you want to give to anybody out there?
Ooh, you know, man, I don't really, but at the same time, just actually, no, I do. I just want to say thank you to everybody who has supported me. Because seriously, as I mentioned, like when we were talking about the support group, that really has helped me a lot. I appreciate that y'all believe in me and that y'all sometimes check on me and everything. So I really, really appreciate y'all. Like, trust me, like it really felt here. So I'm touching my mic, sorry. But I really feel y'all support and the love. So I really, really appreciate that. And we're gonna keep going. So I appreciate it. So let's keep going with the support and love. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thanks to everybody who watched and everybody who's checking out afterwards, as well as the reels. Y'all have a great night. Get the kamatzen till we meet again. Y'all take care.